Hi YouTube world, it's Adrienne in New York. I hope everyone is doing well. If this is your first time joining me, welcome. I just wanted to jump on because I'm feeling like a little bit of a mess today. I need to get in the shower. I've just I don't know, it's just been kind of an odd day where I've been feeling like I'm playing catch up with my life. I don't know if that happens to you, but when that happens to me and I want to put on some makeup, I don't want to put on fussy makeup. And I feel like this last month in particular, and maybe it's because I have been paying a very close attention to my skincare because I had a bit of a skincare snafu recently, that I've been doing like less makeup for a little bit. And one of the products that I love, that I've really been enjoying, is the Always On Cream Eyeshadow or Cream Shadow from Smashbox, this one here. And I actually have quite a few shades that I purchased because I purchased one a while ago and I fell in love with it. That then I went insane before my low buy February and went on Smashbox and purchased 9 more shades because that's who I am. So I thought it would be helpful to kind of do an eye swatch. It would kind of be fun too, since I'm going to get in the shower. If you're curious about what I'm wearing on my face, I'm wearing most of my Project Pan items. And actually what is on my cheeks and my lips is one of these products, because I wanted to show you that they actually, if the shade is a good shade, it actually works as a real pretty blush and lippy for that kind of monochromatic look. So without further ado, I'm just going to get into swatches, and as I get into swatches, I'll talk to you a little bit about the product, why I love it so much, why I do think it's worth its price, because they are on the pricier side for sure, but I also feel like you get a lot of product for how much you're going to use. And if you're not like me and don't need the whole collection, I think you could find like 1 or 2 ride or die shades, you know, a shade that's really going to bring you a lot of joy and happiness. And I think you're going to treasure it. And I think it's a product to be treasured. I just want to make that clear. So, let's start. I'm going to go from lightest to darkest. And if you're just curious about the swatches, I did swatches on my arm in natural light, and I'll include those at the end of the video. If you want to see how they apply or how I like to apply them, I'm just going to go ahead and start off with Sepia. That's this one here. And they come in these really like soft touch, they feel like a painter's kit, you know, they feel like paint. And I just put a dollop, and this is already, I think, a little too much, but I just want to show you. And I am wearing mascara. But on some of the shades, I don't even have to really blend too much around the edges. Like with my finger, I can do it. Now, I like to apply these kind of products with my finger. You can absolutely use a brush, and for some of them, I will be going in with a brush to kind of blend out a little further. But for the most part, a lot of them are just like real user-friendly with the finger. And so this shade here, this is sort of like a warm light toffee color. It's a really pretty one and done. You want something a little something in on your eyelid, but you don't want a full kind of bang. This is a great shade to throw something on and, you know, maybe do a bolder lip and just feel a little more put together. I will say I have combo skin, but my eyelids are so oily. They are, you know, once I cleanse and everything, they're fine, but over the course of the day, they get really oily and they love to spit out product. I will say that this product, and I'll include a clip of my wear test. I did an 8-hour wear test to kind of show you what it looks like at the end of 8 hours, but it keeps the blend. It's very nice, but if you have any kind of like real deep crease, at least on me, it will crease there. but it isn't anything crazy. I just like lightly tap it out and it looks beautiful again. What I will say is if you want to top this off with a shadow, like let's say you want to use this as a shadow base, which I actually like doing because I feel that the formula is thin enough that it's not going to be like super thick and layered, which I feel like sometimes eye primers or other kind of eye bases, they just add too much to the eyelid already that when you lay your products on, it just looks a little thick, especially if you are, I think, of a certain age, which I am definitely over 40. And so looking at little things like that mattered to me where maybe they didn't matter to me so much 10 years ago. I noticed that if I put too much on my eyelid, it just starts to look a little heavy. On the other side, I'm going to use this color ochre, and this is a beautiful mustard shade. This is actually the shade that started me on this journey. I love mustard. I love the look of it as a crease color. I just think it can be so flattering. And this one was so pigmented. So now I'll just switch fingers and use that to blend up the product. And this one has such a nice vibrancy without being like clownish. I think this with like like in the fall with like a brown lip, and in the summer with like a real beautiful orange lip or a red lip, like really vibrant. It's just so beautiful. So I just wanted to show you it is quite vibrant, and you only need that little amount that I showed you, and it sets down completely, like 100% dry. So like I mentioned, you know, for me, where my eyelid starts to develop some oil, that's hours into the day. I mean, so I have quite a few hours of like fresh kind of eyeshadow look. And then again, I just kind of tap it. So again, that is the color ochre if you're looking for a beautiful mustard. And this is the color, oh shoot, this is the color Sepia. So I like that. And these are great blended together, but I just wanted to show you like their standard kind of swatch. I'll be right back. Let me wipe this off and we'll do 2 more colors. I'm back. Next color up is the color olive. This was another one that immediately attracted me to it. I will say that I purchased, now when I come to think about it, I think I purchased a couple from Nordstrom's because I had a reward, and I purchased a couple from Ulta, and then I purchased directly from Smashbox. Smashbox is the only place where you will find all the shades that they make in this formula. So I just want to show you what happened there. Like I got a little crazy, but it gives you some time to work with. So you don't have to worry too much. You have some playtime, which again, I appreciate. And again, if you want something more precise and you don't like to use your fingers, just like a synthetic brush. I've been using the e.l.f. brush to help me out, like an e.l.f. brush, but also Real Techniques make some great ones, like easy to blend out. So this is the olive color, which I think actually on camera might look a tiny bit brighter, but it has this kind of like pukey color, which I like because I think it just makes it look more sophisticated. So that's olive. And on the other side, we're gonna do greige, which is this cool toned taupey brown, which I think on people with like blue eyes or green eyes would look gorgeous. So I'm gonna use my viewfinder on my phone to kind of blend that out. So this is like a definitely like a cooler toned taupe, which I think with all the kind of cool toned folks out there right now that have come out of the woodworks, I think that this is going to be a very popular shade. So it's definitely much cooler, but still has some warmth. But this is also like a very one and done sort of shade. So that was greige, and this is olive. Gonna wipe it down and do 2 more. I have 10 total, if you were wondering. Okay, we're back. The next up is the color I'm wearing everywhere, and it's the color Guava. It's sort of like a warm pink color. It's this one here. I love that you can see some of the color through the packaging. Of course, it makes life easier. So you see it has like a burnty rose color. Definitely on the warm side, definitely on the warm side, but I think it's such a pretty, flattering, feminine shade. And all these shades just have this like ability to look really just kind of diffused, worn. They can be quite pigmented too. Like you could build this up. It builds very well, but it also just has that like wash quality where it's real effortless. So I really like that. And again, that's Guava, and I'm wearing that on my cheeks as well as on my lips for kind of that monochromatic look, which I like to do occasionally. And I'm sorry, I sneezed in between my switch over, and I don't know what's going on. Allergies, the heater, this crazy weather changing every 2 seconds. On my other eye, I'm going to be putting on Violet. So this was one of the shades that you could only, for whatever reason, purchase at Smashbox directly. And I really wanted this color. I love purples, and purples are really difficult to find a lot of the times. Like a flattering purple. And what I love about this one, it has this like muted sense to it. Don't worry, this is one of the colors I would actually blend with. So for blending, I'm just gonna use my little elf brush, and I'm just going around the perimeter and blending it out. Oh, actually I put too much there. But again, what's really nice about this product is it lets you work with it. You know, you're not left to like fend for yourself too much. And I think actually this brush had a little bit of color on it. So I'm gonna go to a Real Techniques brush that has no color. So I just love that you can toy with it for a while. There's like, it's very little consequence. And so that is the Violet shade, which I just love, that sort of diffused pinkish purple wash. Definitely more cool toned. And yeah, I love that. So that one I think you can only pick up, I think as of at least when I purchased them, only on Smashbox. So again, we have Guava on this side and on the cheeks and on the lips, and then we have Violet on this side. And so these, again, as I mentioned, make great bases for eyeshadow looks. So if I'm starting with a purpley look, I will put something on like this first and then go in with all my shadows if I was going to go for a really like dramatic, blown out look. Let me wipe off and I will come back. I'm back. As I wipe off, I realize there are some colors that do want to stain, grab a little bit harder. And like that lilac was one of those shades. So I will just say that, or the violet. The next shade was another one that I was immediately drawn to because I love chocolatey shades. This is Barista. So it's this one here. It's a reddish It's a reddish chocolate brown, which I really like. And I'm going to put this on fairly pigmented so you could see how pretty it is. Again, kind of one of those shades where I don't know about you, but I love to, you know, play around with these really dark colors. And this one will get messy. I'm not gonna pretend. And I also think I applied a little too much. But it has this like rose color, like this almost like purpled rose in it. It's really unusual, and this is, so I'm just gonna use this to blow it out a little bit. And these look great underneath the eye as well. And again, they layer, and I hope you can see like the product moves. It moves. It's not, again, I think especially if you're working with such dark colors that are in this cream format, you've got to make sure you're working with a product that will let you move it around, because if you are stuck, if you put something on and it's like too dark and dramatic and you have no chance in making it blend well before it sets, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. So that's Barista. It's almost like a raspberried chocolate. Actually, I almost equate this to if you have Sydney Grace's chocolate raspberry fudge, I think is the color. This is very similar. It's just sort of like a burned reddish, purplyish reddish chocolate. Yeah. And I love it. It's so dramatic, but it's also like wearable. I really, really like this shade. Barista is beautiful, beautiful. And I wanted to do this because sometimes the boring colors in swatches are actually the most beautiful colors on eyes. And I wanted to show that because I think automatically we always want to go to like a fun color or something that looks really fun, but we are avoiding the, something like Barista, which I actually think is one of the most beautiful shades that I purchased. The next color up is Sienna. Now this one is more of it's similar in its tone, like it's warm, but it's definitely orange leaning. And this is the one I was wearing in my video, and maybe I will insert the clip right after this just so you can see how it wears down. And again, like, look, I look crazy right now, but don't worry, because a combination of my little makeup wipe, which I always have on hand, or a Q-tip, and then going in with the synthetic brush, and I'm going to create more of a winged effect. And you can, you can work with these however you want, but I would always start not the way I'm starting, which is probably with more pigment than I need. I'm just doing it so you can, so we're quick, and so we can also, kind of see the full-on pigment on the eye. That's pretty good. I have some wonkiness in the inner corner, but we're not aiming for perfection. So that's Sienna. This is really pretty. If you're into like the warm, like the Urban Decay heat, kind of palette, this is the color you would really probably want to invest in. I think it would actually really work really nicely with that palette. So that's this one, Sienna and Barista. Day long. It's been it's 5 p.m. right now. It's on at 9, so it's like been 8 hours. And I just wanted to show you, I didn't put any sort of base or anything. I'm actually not wearing any makeup. I'm a bit of a mess. I'm about to hop in the shower. But I wanted to show you, It applies really nicely, that part we already knew, but there is just slight creasing. You'll see it right there, which I would normally just, if I'm wearing just this product, I would just tap it out a little bit, and it just goes back to being really pretty. I have extremely oily eyelids, so this is really great for a cream product to last on my eyelids. I will say I don't experience any creasing if I use this as a base. So again, I just sort of put a wash of the color on today, but how I would normally use this product is probably as a base to an eye look. So if I were to put an eyeshadow over this, which has that drier component, it wouldn't have that kind of creasing that takes place. The creasing would be held at bay. I think if you have normal to dry eyelids, you wouldn't have any creasing at all. Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to show you kind of what it looked like, this kind of lived-in look. All right, so I hope you saw kind of like what happens with the wear, though I did put it on more as a bit of a more of a wash this morning, like a little thinner wash, not as fully pigmented as I'm doing. So these are actually like the two most like the colors I was like, yeah, on my wish list. I definitely want those, but they're not going to be like realistically something I'm going to be wearing all the time, but I'm still going to have them. And those are the colors Cerulean and Ultramarine. That's these there. So it's sort of like a soft teal and then like a deeper teal. And I just thought they would play so well together, and I was so happy to add them. This one has like some kind of pastel in it. It's not like, but it's not like crazy white base, but it does have a lot of brightness. And I love this color. Oh my God. This color. This is such a hard color to get in a like a full-on effect with a powder eyeshadow and get it to look this good. This is one of the shadows where it's really impressive what the shadow does. So this is a very like 1960s mod sort of Tiffany blue color. I love it. I love this. Of course, you do not have to wear it so blown out. You can see I'm removing some of it by just blending it out with a larger brush. I just wanted to show that. So it has a bit more of a wash. And again, I can just tap it out and get it to blend even more. You can definitely use these as liners. There's no reason not to. So this would make a real beautiful liner. So that is the color Cerulean. I love it. It's so delicious. And even with this like kind of orangey, not orangey, but rusty peach pink color from the Guava on my cheeks and my lips, it's a real pretty combination. Very like Southwest, which I love. I love that color palette. This one is really, really rich. This one is ultramarine. I did not know what to make of this because based on the online online swatches, a lot of times this looked almost like forest green, and that's what I was hoping for, but it is not forest green. It is like, it definitely has like some element of forest green in it, but no, it's really like it has more blue in it than what I anticipated, which I don't mind, but I'm still jonesing for a forest green color. Oh my God, I just made a big mess, but this is good. It's always good to show mistakes because in real life, mistakes happen. So I'm just gonna clean that up. And again, like look, a color that's so rich and dyes the skin. Now this one actually will stick quite well on the skin, but it's nice that it still gives you some time to move it around and fuss with it a bit. And these colors together would look beautiful too. So this one I just want to show you has does require some building if you want that opacity. If you don't, and you want more of that greener leaning wash, you can get there by just blending it. Blending it out and away will get you more of that kind of jade, foresty jade color. If you want it more towards the teal side, you would just like pack it on. So there I kind of like washed it out pretty nicely, but you can kind of tell the difference between ultramarine and cerulean. And so I think I'm gonna wrap it up there. To me, these are absolutely worth it. I've never tried cream shadow products that have performed as well as this. That being said, I haven't tried a lot of them, so I will just be honest. I feel like I missed the boat with the Makeup Forever, Aqua Assurance, whatever those were called, and maybe those were wonderful, but as a standalone, I think these are great. Like, I was very, very happy with my purchase. That's why I kept making purchases. That's why I've amassed this collection. I feel like they're just beautiful. They're just beautiful. So I will insert swatches at the end right now. And yeah, I hope you found this helpful, interesting. If you have any questions, I didn't want this to be too informative. I just wanted it to be more like a show and tell. So hope everyone's doing well. And yeah, stay tuned for those swatches. Bye.